Good evening and welcome to part 5 of my video series on how to apply for your BIG registration process as a South African nurse who wants to immigrate to the Netherlands. I hope you have watched my previous 4 videos first before looking at this one. If not, go onto my channel and watch the videos in order. Just a quick disclaimer or reminder, I am not a YouTube influencer, a social media influencer, so this is just a pure advice video. Where was I? So you have heard me give advice about the Dutch exam last time. So now I need to give you advice about the documents that you have to fill in on your BIG profile, your main BIG, B-I-G. So this is quite a lengthy process that your nursing agency will also talk about, your recruitment agency. They will give you these forms to fill in. You can get them off the BIG website, or they could email it to you that you simply download or type out onto this paper digitally. And it must all be in Dutch. This is all sorts of information about you and your career, your date of birth, your ID number. It's all your whole identity, and it also helps you to apply for legitimacy to immigrate. All right. So it's 11 pages, your personal details. Okay, let me quickly read you this title. Aanvraagformulier, verklaring van vakbekwaamheid. Erkenning beroepskwalificaties. That means your application form for declaration of vakbekwaamheid means basically your competence. And erkenning, acknowledgement of your career qualifications. So everything that you type in this form needs to be legit. It asks for your contact details, what type of visa you will have, where did you study as a nurse, and where did you work, and what courses did you take as extra, and then what is your career experience, and then your signature, and then at the back is a whole list of documents that need to come with this particular form. And it's quite a long list. I'll read it to you. It's basically the list that I showed you last time, but in English. I must have, it's hiding under this pile of paper somewhere. Okay, well, I'll just read it to you. So it's like the actual application form, and the Beilage form. This one is 5 pages long, but it's also one of the longest forms I've ever filled in because it asks you about your experience in detail. Like you have to name certain moments of learning, certain patients that you've handled, certain departments that you've ever worked in. Like what is your pure experience as a nurse? Like de verpleegkundige is in staat om in de verpleegkundige zorg te plannen. You can do nursing care plans. You can work in psychosomatic areas, social areas. You can work in basic care. You can work in different treatment sections like clinics. You can give advice, voorlichting, proactive, and instructions to the patients, as well as their caregivers at home. You can work with geriatrics, chronic somatic sicknesses and diseases, bodily handicaps, like and verstandelijke gehandicapten is like cognitive impairment. And you've also have experience in midwifery or psychiatry and pediatrics. There's all those things you fill in according to the list. You fill in those blocks to say yes or no. You don't have to have experience everywhere. They just need to know what you have done in your own country so far. And you see all these tiny words. That's me trying to fit in all my experiences per question. It was freaking long to do. And it's all detailed stuff that you have to write. And this is basically a way of them knowing that you know your stuff. You're not just posing as a nurse or doctor or psychiatrist or dietitian. You're not like faking. Because look, you can have a certificate, you can have a piece of paper, and they will want to know further about your career and not just see the certificate for what it is. They want to have written experience about everything you've done. And I've mostly done experiences about my student days, my ICU days, examples, scenarios, actual occurrences of my career, and explaining to yourself, explaining to them how you work. So it is a hectic long form, this one. Both of these are hectic long, but they're necessary. They're part of your BIG register. And if you do these well and they go through it, then they will approve for you to go on to the next round. All right, it's hectic, I'm sorry to say. This is why in the first video I asked you, are you willing? Are you willing to put all this time aside and to commit to this? And then they also ask on the list, like your other courses that you've done, your transcripts, and gewaarmerkte kopie van opleidingsprogramme. Yes, that's what I said. The transcripts, and then also a declaration of employment, your CV, your verblijfsdocument. Now, your verblijfsdocument is your residence permit. It's a card that you get as part of it's your visa. So you also need to apply for that to come over here and work here. If you need help getting it, the nursing agency can be your sponsor, and you can come over with a worker's visa. Otherwise, if you or your partner are coming over with a highly skilled immigrant visa, you can sort of go follow their sponsorship as well. And you can come over as a spousal visa or a partner's visa. Then, yeah, there's a lot of proof of everything that you need to do. It's all here in this document. If you download it and see it for yourself, it is all in Dutch, but you can easily copy and paste it into Google Translate, and then it'll make sense as you go. But the more you read Dutch, the more you learn. There are extra pages like bijlage courses and like this is just extra courses that you did as a nurse, or extra specializations, extra studies or degrees that you did on top of whatever else you did. Wasn't applicable to my situation except for the ICU and management, but I already filled in that part. So that's a hectic part, all right, of your process. We're nearly out of time again. I don't know why these videos have to be 10 minutes at a time. I don't know how to edit it or lengthen it. But yeah, maybe it's good that I'm doing this in sections so that I can figure out the next part. I think the next time I will talk about studying for the BI test. We'll get there in a minute. Follow for part, how many is this now? Part 6.